5 ventures where you need to invest your money in 2025 that will commence your journey to financial freedom. I know that we've always wanted to invest money, and sometimes we actually have the money to invest, but we just save it. Let us agree this year, never put your money on a savings account except for money that is for A, emergency, and B, use for that particular period, let's say a week or a month. So before I give you the 5 different places where you can invest your money, let me also challenge you to make sure you know how much you spend in a month. So the challenge that I want to give every one of you that has watched this video, and if you're going to take up the challenge, put it in the comments so that we move together or you inspire another person. I want you for the next 31 days to write down every expense that you put out, whether it's a tip, it is money that you've lost, even if it is as small as money that you give to the needy or to the street kids, 100 shillings, write it down. At the end of 31 days, you have an overview of how much you spend in a month. But for you to get a clear picture, a clear average, I want you to do it for 90 days. If you're up to the challenge. The moment you have an average amount of money that you spend in a month, then you know how much you actually need on your account, plus some money for emergency. But even for emergency, I'm going to tell you somewhere else you can put it. So let's begin. The number one investment venture where you're going to put your money are unit trusts. Now, the advantage of unit trust, it's a collective investment scheme. It is managed by people who are thoroughly regulated and keenly looked at by the government. In Uganda, it is the Capital Markets Authority. The other advantage of unit trust is that this money makes money on a daily basis. It has what we call a daily compounding interest. If you've not watched my video on unit trust, please look for it. It is pinned on top. Number 3, these unit trusts can be accessed anytime. Most of the fund managers of unit trust give you a promise that whenever you need your money, you can get it within 1 to 3 days. Actually, Stanbic Bank can give you your money within hours. That said, there are emergencies that may need money immediately, so you can put about 20% of your emergency fund on an account called emergency funds account, but the rest of your emergency funds account, put it in unit trust, including your investments that you've decided to put in unit trust. Remember, unit trust, at least in Uganda so far, have the best interest rates. It's not that the interest rate per annum is high, it is just that the interest rate accumulates on a daily. What I am trying to say, that if a unit trust has an interest rate of about 11%, it can actually beat a bond which is at 15%. That is a detail we shall go into. Now, venture number 2 are Treasury Bonds. Now, Treasury Bonds is the quickest vehicle to financial freedom. Why? Before we go into the why, let me tell you what a Treasury Bond is. A Treasury Bond simply is when you loan government money and government pays you back at a given period of time with an interest. But government pays you this interest every after 6 months. Let's take, for instance, you've taken a bond, you've lent government money amounting to about 100 million. You expect interest at 15% per annum, which means at every end of the year, you'd qualify for about 15 million. They'll give you this interest on a biannual basis. Meaning, instead of giving you 15 million, accumulate it until the 10 years you have bought the bond or until the end of the year. No, they give you 50% of that interest rate every after 6 months. So if you're expecting 15 million at the end of the year, they'll give you 7.5 after 6 months. So if you've spread out this money from Jan to June, it means by the time we get to July, you will start getting the biannual interest on the bond you bought in January. That is in July. And then in August, you get from the one of Feb. In September, you get from the one of March. And that continues for the lengthy period that you invested in. Still, I have a video on Treasury Bonds. If you want more details, check one of the pinned videos. Now, why are Treasury Bonds the quickest vehicle to financial freedom? You imagine you put this money in bits and bits, or you're going to leave it there for about 20 years. It means after the first 6 months of investing, immediately in the 7th month, you start earning. So the more you invest, the higher you get in the interest rate. For example, if you reach a time when at any given month, you have an accumulation of about, let's say, 100 million in bonds that you're going to be paid out for that month, and you're going to earn 7.5 million by annual interest for the rest of 20 years. And when the 20 years come, you reinvest it. For now, this is something you may not understand unless you check out my YouTube, or just go and check out the video that has been pinned and watch more about bonds. Option number 3 is investing in Treasury Bills. Now, Treasury Bills, I only advise you to put your money there. It has a lower interest rate. It ranges from about 8 to 10, 11. I don't advise it. It's not compounding. It has taxes to it. The details about taxes and interest rates of bonds and bills, please go and watch the video again. But if you have a short-term goal, maybe you want to buy a car that year and you want somewhere you can put money and you don't access it, but it is still making some little money, then go for Treasury Bills. Option number 4 are stocks. Stocks is when you buy shares in a public company like MTN. So whenever MTN makes money, you also make money. If you want more details, just tell me in the comments that you want more details about the stocks, and I'll make a video about it. If you have a video that you know that someone else made it, just tell us who did it and put it in the comments. The last option, which is option number 5, is land. Now, I know land is a capital preservation venture where most people just buy land to keep their money. But remember, because it's an investment venture, it means it increases in value. You may buy land today at 10 million, and tomorrow someone wants that specific exact land and is willing to give it to you at 20 million. Many people have seen that. And if there's any one of you who has experienced that or seen that same thing happening to a person that you know, just put in the comments, share your experience. But also, even if it's not the next day, land will ultimately accumulate in value. Just like bonds, on land you can also get loan to invest in something else, maybe in a wealth creation venture, what we call business. Bonds, they give you at what we call face value. If you have bonds of 100 million, when they're giving you a loan, they'll give it at 100 million. When you have land worth 100 million, the bank won't exceed 65 million. But you still have an opportunity to use the land to get a loan and invest in a wealth creation investment venture. Now, the last tip and the bonus tip I'm going to give you is invest in a digital asset. Now, it could be in a skill, because the skill will ultimately return money. Remember, what an asset is anything with which, if exchanged, you can attain value. Like you exchange it for value. It could be monetary value or something. You exchange skills and you're paid. So there are digital skills, like you may do a course in artificial intelligence, in digital marketing, in drop shipping, in online selling and business, in SaaS. You could purchase or pay someone to develop for you a very important SaaS product. SaaS product means software as a service. You may choose to invest, and I've done that, to invest in a SaaS product, a software that you think people need, and then you start rolling it out so that people can pay you on a monthly basis, a subscription fee. If you want to subscribe for our program that is going to guide us throughout the year on the different things we can do in the year and how to keep up with the goals that we set, but also how to adapt to the digital world, managing personal finances and investments, personal growth, improve our communication skills, have accountability partners, develop our discipline, and so much. If you need to know more about the program, or if you want to know whether whatever you're interested in is in the program, just put it in the comments. Remember to save this video just in case someone needs it.